me never giving chat any time to actually join the stream before I start talking about what we're going to do. We're going to do co-working today. I know I said I might do some coding on a little Rust project today, but I decided against that because my PC that I normally code on needs a little bit of work for me to actually have it usable for stream. So I think I got to clean that up. It's been a while since I was able, like, since I've used my framework, and I switched it back to i3 because Sway was giving me the time of my life. So, you know. Alrighty, let's get YouTube live audience in here as well. Let me see what the chat says. Oh, I actually meant to change it so that there'd be like little less of a cooldown on this. Hold on. Let me see if I can change that in my live stream settings. Yo, Finsby, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay. Oh, I do have it. Wait, I do have it set to ultra low latency. What the heck? Maybe? Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know how live stream on YouTube works, TBH. I also already lost the chat. That's my bad. Okie doke. But yeah, we're going to do co-working today. I'm sorry, scammed. Scammed. Hey, Zeiji. Actual one. Inak. Pseudo. Yo, what's up? Is that a Spidey comic I see on the bottom shelf? They are, yeah, Spider-Man Magic cards. I don't play Magic, but maybe I want to. So I got them in case I get into it. I do think the Magic community is very adorable. It is such a nice, cute little social thing to do. Let's hang out and play Magic, you know? All right. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for today. We're going to do a little bit of co-working. And yeah, so pretty much what I'm going to do, I think during our little co-working sessions is I got to get my framework set up properly for the streams again, which also means I'll probably get Rust Rover. I do have it installed. I do have the Learn Rust course on there as well, but I have to set up like some different stuff with Xrandr. I have it currently set up okay, but the resolution on, I think I need to change the scaling on the built-in display because the text is the tiniest text of your life. How's it going, Bash? Feeling better? Yes, I got no migraines yesterday, which is huge. Yeah. Hi, Nano. Hi, Hinsey. Sig, Red Hot. Hello, hello. Yippee. But yeah, we're gonna do cozy co-working. I am very much enjoying Rust. I didn't have a chance actually I had some like home/family things to do yesterday, so I didn't end up working on it more yesterday, but today's the day. Yippee. I love it. It's Spider-Man. Absolutely huge. Yeah, I love that it's Spider-Man. I know. Isn't it actually sick? It is. I think so too. Yeah, I have so many videos that I need to edit for you guys. My bad. I think there's like 4 of them that I have filmed that I need to edit because I want to get them out for you. But I've been locked in on the Rust stuff / migraines this week, so we'll have to make up for it with a little bit of co-working. This will probably also be a bit of a shorter stream, so we'll see how that works with co-working. Yeah, maybe I should do shorter sessions today for the co-working then. In hindsight, maybe I do 25/5. Okay. I can see a Pokemon mat on your desk. I love it. Isn't it sick? I know it's a Charizard, Mega Charizard desk mat slash, it's like a trade, it's a trading card mat. I see you frequently take notes. Do you know about e-ink devices? I do. For whatever reason, there's something in my brain where if I write it down on something digital, it doesn't quite imprint the same way. And there is some science behind that. There were some studies, I think I want to say it was from 2021, but more recent studies from Japan, from Tokyo University, that were stating why analog note-taking was more effective than even like stylus and tablet. Kind of interesting. So I actually have a video that will be coming out about like how I take my notes and why I take paper notes and stuff. And I go into detail on that study, which is kind of fun. Yeah, it is such a weird, interesting thing. Obviously it's kind of cumbersome to have to bring paper notebooks with you. I find that, so usually if I'm learning, I do need pen and paper. It helps a lot. But if it's just like I'm coding and I just want to keep track of where I'm at with my project, then usually it's fine for me to just use org mode for that. It's like when it's more so just documenting the state of something, I find org mode really effective. Because I don't know about you, but at the end of the day, whenever I'm done working on something, or even even throughout while I'm working on it, I really like to take like thorough notes of like, what are problems that I'm encountering? What are features I want to add? What are fixes I need to do? And I'll like just keep track of that in an org file usually. And then I can schedule out those tasks and do all that stuff. And it's a really great way to stay organized and then also still continue to have like full context of how and why, like what problems I encountered, how I solved it, which is kind of handy, I feel like, going forward. That really makes no sense to me, but looking forward to, I know, isn't it? It's weird. I think, but it could also just potentially be different for different people. Like, I think, I think what they were saying though is like, I think some of the conclusions with the study was that if basically the format for a lot of either e-ink or like tablet applications, there's like more there are more restrictions with it in how you can interact with it, if that makes sense. But I think if there's like the more customizations that you can make to your notes, the better. So it was, I think, very close to the same level of efficacy if you were able to have like custom like color coded things. You're able to add sticky notes wherever you want. You're able to like basically have a bit more of like a Freeform format. It was a lot closer. But yeah, it's very interesting. New camera? No. Same. I'm so bad at taking notes. It seems useful. Wait, what seems useful? My video. Yeah, it's one of those things. I feel like it's funny because I feel like we're told how to take notes in school, kind of. They're like, but like also not, because I feel like for whatever reason, when you learn to take notes as a kid / teenager or whatever, when you learn to take notes, it's like for whatever reason, you default to like, I need to write down verbatim what they're saying, which is very much not how you're supposed to take notes. Like note taking should be a very like personal endeavor, you know? It's like you should just be writing down whatever you need that will act as a cue for you to remember what you need to remember, but it like you don't have to remember every single thing they're saying. It's like, what's the main point that they're trying to get to? And how does that like, and also your brain, or like my brain, but I think your brain really likes to kind of create, it likes layers, right? So if you're able to like relate it back to something that you already know, and then be like, okay, what's the relationship here and why is this relevant? Then it's a lot easier to cement that. But yeah, I do love this camera. This was actually I feel like a really good deal for the performance. This one is it's a Sony ZV-E10, and it's awesome because it's a mirrorless camera. And with the kit lens, like basically I just use it with the kit lens, which has a huge range. It's 16 to 50, what is it called? Millimeters. You can adjust, so it's super adjustable. And then it also, you can stream out to with 4K, and it takes 4K photo, video. It has, I think, pretty decent default white balance. I will say, and it has there's an app you can use on your phone or tablet as well that allows you to control the camera from your phone or tablet, which is really nice if you're trying to take photos of yourself or whatever. Because if you're creating content and stuff, it's like most of the time you're doing all that solo. So it's kind of cool that you can position it and then get in frame and then take the photo or take the video, like start recording, whatever. It's kind of dope. And it was only $1,500 for the lens and the camera body. My biggest complaint though is that it doesn't come with a charger, which is kind of crazy. Like, how do you ship an electronic and be like, actually no charger for you? Like, not even a battery charger. I like it when I can just plug in the battery to the wall, you know? JC Practices says, great take. Yo, thank you. Thank you. My birthday is now. Happy birthday. Sorry, don't know what org mode is. I use NeoVim, by the way. I hope this joke isn't getting old at this rate. No, it's funny. It's good. You can also, there is NeoOrg. That's for NeoVim. It's org mode support in NeoVim. I've always been making paper notes, but I want to get better with digital notes like Obsidian. So I find with digital notes, there are usually things that I just want to reference later. Like it's more so things that I need or want to be searchable. I love the ZV-E10. How do you keep yours powered during the stream? I just have a dummy battery for it. I use an Elgato Cam Link. I might do an updated setup tour because I have changed quite a lot of things in my stream setup, and I think it would probably be like a good time to do that again because I've now got like quite a few new peripherals and stuff. So I might do an updated little setup tour, and I can walk you guys through the full production happening over here. I just got here. Do you use a Galaxy Tab or an iPad? I use an iPad that I got in, I got it in 2021. So it's old. It still works great. Still does everything that I need it to do. And it was like the cheapest model in 2021. So it's like, she's kicking. I feel like iPads have really long lifespans. Don't take it away from us, Apple, please. We need that. We need it. Hinsey says, I love the Evergreen Notes philosophy from Andy Matuszak. Also Tiago Forte. Oh, interesting. Okay, wait. I'm going to write that down because that sounds interesting. I'm always trying to optimize. I read so many studies on the most effective ways to learn to try to like teach myself how to learn more like better, because I feel like some people are able to just pick things up right away, and other people you got to like sit and struggle with it. I'm always the one I've had to go on hard mode. Evergreen Notes. Andy M. Chat Rex. My hair looks kind of short. Oh, it's because it's all the back. That's just because I got layers. There's layers to it. How does the positioning work? Crop zoom? Positioning. Apple does the same thing. They just include the cable. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Oh, I was going to ask what light bar you're using. It's just sunlight. Yeah. You know, the sun. How is off-stream Rust? I didn't do off-stream Rust yesterday, but in general, it's been very good. I think yesterday was actually the first day that I didn't do additional stuff outside of stream. Usually I try to. Do you also do journaling? I do. I love journaling. I think journaling is so, so, so helpful. Cause I'm also not I tend to be fairly private. Like I like to figure out my thoughts for myself before sharing with others. So I find journaling is very nice for me because I don't feel like I have to talk to anybody until I've figured it out for myself. And then once I'm ready to receive third party advice, then I can do that. But I think it's outstanding. I just interviewed for a role 10 minutes ago. The lady really tried to test me. She was asking me very complex A/B testing questions. Wait, what? Really? Ty Guy says, dude, my iPad is like 15 years old. It's still going, huh? I love Freeform's infinite grid notes on my iPad lately. Feels closest to paper that I can do without losing paper. I really, really like Freeform. That is, for those who are not familiar, that is actually like the Apple note-taking, like it's basically just like an infinite piece of paper that you can add. I really like how it handles links and stuff like that as well. Because it'll show an actual like embed preview of what the content is in the link, which is really nice. So you don't have to like I find if I'm researching for a video or something like that, sometimes it's nice to like mind map everything. And that one is one where I wouldn't take paper notes because it's just like so much of it is in reference to other sources. It's really nice. JC says iPads last forever for real. I think my iPad Pro is from 2019, still going super strong with the notability daily. Yeah, I do think like pretty much the reason I got an iPad was just for like reading textbooks, because you cannot pay me to carry around a textbook outside of like my home. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not bringing that is not a portable thing. So it is really nice to actually be able to have access to all of that and be able to annotate textbooks, which is something I'm not brave enough to do with any paper books. I cannot write on them. It feels like sacrilegious. So that, and then also for, like to try out different like note taking and stuff. I have that like paper finish on mine and it's really nice. Niraj says, I'm going through the Rust book. Wow, it is challenging. You should. I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but I'm going through the like JetBrains Academy's learn Rust course, and it's based off of the Rust book, and it's been very good, I think, at introducing topics without too much fluff, giving you real-time examples that you can also like break and see what the compiler says. You know what I mean? Like you can test what it's explaining to you in real time, which is really nice. And it's in your IDE. It's not sponsored. This is not like you don't need to do anything. But I'm just sharing what has so far been really helpful for me. And yeah, I love paper books though. I got mine for sheet music. Then way later got into digital math notes. I do think that there's definitely something to be said for it's so much less like, I feel like it doesn't, there's something really satisfying about one, like seeing how far along in the book you are. And two, I feel like it doesn't strain your eyes so much as reading on screens. I want to be the sort of person who can write in physical books, but I can't bring myself to. Yeah. The worst is like, I think, so one time I asked for a textbook I think it was for my birthday or Christmas or something like that. It was like, one of the times where people get you gifts. And I asked for a textbook and I got it, and they had gotten it from Amazon, and someone had actually like written in it in pen and highlighter and stuff. And I guess like basically used it and then returned it. And I was like, damn, it was very like funny to me because I was like, I am not brave enough to do this in the first place, let alone buy a book, do that to the book, and then return it. I was like, that's crazy. I didn't agree with what they highlighted, by the way. Bad notes. Don't know if it worked. But yeah. I was like, this is so funny. Because I can't, even though this one, someone else has written in it, I still can't bring myself to write in it. Because then it's too chaotic and I can't focus on anything. In high school, my right shoulder turned out to be slightly lower than my left shoulder because of my backpack full of textbooks. Yeah, I did ballet for a very long time, and my teacher was like, "None of you are ever allowed to carry your backpack with one strap. I will catch you if you do." They're like, "I will find you," because they're like, it will totally change your posture and it will like cause asymmetry. And they're like, nobody in my class is allowed to do that. Otherwise, you're out. So I always had to abide by the rules of 2 straps. OMG mind maps. I haven't heard about those for a while. I'm such a visual person. I find mind maps so helpful. Or like I draw arrows between everything all the time. Does it have an infinite blank canvas? Yeah, it does. Freeform does, yeah. Layers like an onion. Yes. Hi, Max. Hello, Jojo. What's the program for today? I think we're just going to do a little bit of co-working because I realized that I had so much, I have so much stuff that I need to do that I kind of need to catch up on. Like ideally, I need to get my coding laptop set up for stream. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like low enough on the priority list that I keep not doing it. So I'm like, okay, I need to like sit down and do it and just do it on stream so that I don't have some of these other things that I need to do that I could work on during stream. Do you know what I mean? Or that I shouldn't work on those other things during stream. So let me do this instead. Yeah, because I have to I got to tweak a couple things. I've gotten hand-me-down textbooks, but never went on Amazon. I know, it's so strange because they bought it like new. I guess somebody just returned it. Yeah. What's your keyboard like? It's good. I think I need to, I think might do like a little review video on it. Or again, maybe I'll just include that as part of like a setup update. And then maybe, actually, I guess I could just include it as part of the setup update and then chop it into a short or something like that. How long did it take for you to get to master on point? I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with your teacher. Because I think for a while it was harder because I didn't know the tricks, you know? So like, you know, you have to do a lot of like foot strengthening exercises and stuff like that for before you're allowed to go on point, first off. And then like it gets they really stress the fact that you're supposed to have very, very strong feet. But I think that's like, that turns out that that's kind of, it's true, but also not. So like my teachers for a very long time were like, okay, when you're going on releve on point, you are supposed to like use your feet to do that. And then at one point as I got more kind of advanced, I, changed ballet schools and stuff. And I had a different teacher and he had all the tricks. And he's like, no, actually what you want to do when you're going on releve on point is you want to have really, really bendy feet so that it's really easy for you to get right on the block. And then also you want to like jump onto the block, basically. You don't want your foot to actually get airtime, but you want the sensation of jumping onto your toes so that it actually creates a more stable like base. Because if you're just rolling through your feet to go up onto releve on point, then it's actually putting a lot more strain on your feet, and it's gonna like basically it's gonna just have a much higher energy cost, and you're gonna have to like basically overcome that like going from the edge onto like into position. And it's going to take more time, more energy, and it's going to like that final twist onto, or like, yeah, that final motion is like it's harder to do. So again, it's like, it's working smarter, not harder, you know? You got to know that, you got to know the tricks. You got to know the tricks. No Rust today? I know. I baited you all yesterday. Video opportunity. What's on my laptop? How to set up your laptop for dev success. Well, honestly, I think that's a big part of what's very helpful for me as a streamer, where people are always interested in my setup. Now that I have Nix installed on this laptop, I'm like, okay, well, it's all there. You know, you can read through that. Undercover, if you're tier 3, you can try again. Undercover, you should tier 3 sub right now. Tier 3 sub or you're banned. I'm not kidding. Tier 3 sub or you're banned. I'll give you 5 minutes. I have a timer. I'm ready. Is there a significant risk of hurting your ankle if you don't build up? Oh yeah, for sure. Well, because basically you have to be able to hold it in the exact right position. If it's off by even like centimeters, you could roll your ankle really bad. And like, you can roll your ankle really bad and like tear ligaments. So yeah. I love these little standoffs. Let's go. Come on. Undercover. Undercover, you got 2 minutes. Tier 3 or you're banned. I feel called out with the backpack one shoulder comment. Listen, I know y'all trying to look cool. Y'all trying to look cool at school, but you can't do it. Undercover, I'm telling you, 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. Tier 3 first. There's a countdown. Oh, actually, you know what? We could actually do I can put an actual timer on. Hold on. Let's do they got 1 minute. Lol, check. You check. I'm checking. What is this? What do you think is happening right now? Is anything unclear? Instructions unclear? Do you know how to sub on Twitch? I think if you don't know how to sub on Twitch, you can't ask for OnlyFans links in people's Twitch chats. I don't think you know how to use, I don't think you'd have the ability to subscribe to OnlyFans if you don't know how to sub on Twitch, going into Twitch streams, trying to get OnlyFans. I think you're lost. Yeah, I don't think that's not adding up. It's not. You can't find the link. Well, you got 8 seconds, brother. You got 8 seconds. 4 seconds even. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna miss you so much. Oh no. Oh no. What a loss. What a loss. All right. That's too bad. That's too bad. Oh no. Oh man, that's so. Does anyone have the world's tiniest violin? We need it playing right now. Womp womp womp. Damn. You know what? They were so close too. They were so close. Yeah, you know what? It would have been, they're like, Gio saying, I don't think they know how nerdy this chat is. I really think they got lost. I think they got real lost. It's funny too, like my category is software and game development. Dude, how did the OnlyFans stands get in here? Where did they come from? I'm not even in just chatting right now. They've evolved. They never used to reach this sphere of Twitch. They never came to this category before. It's the Emacs tag? Yeah, for real. Beautiful on-stream timer, by the way. Is it open source? It is actually. Yes. For what it's worth, I think I forked it. Oh, it's my Pomodoro. Hold on. I have is it timer? I think I had to change that. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, it's one of them. Yeah, it's timer. Yeah, it's 6. So you can use it. I also actually, I think I updated the YouTube video itself where I talk about the timer. I think I updated it with a link to the my fish config. Chop Suey, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. C Morales, thank you for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Tuffers, thank you for the prime. Sorry guys, I forgot I was streaming. I forgot how to stream. I was like, oh wait, I forgot people can sub here. Uh-oh. Looks like they're anywhere that is a woman. Don't they know I'm AI? Brother. Ask Groq. I don't know. Shit. Ask you need an OnlyFans link. You ask Groq for that. Just kidding. That's very unethical. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's weird. It's weird. It's freaking weird. You know what I think would be very funny? I think we should go over all of the weird people using AI for weird shit. I think that's what needs to happen. Because some people in San Francisco, they be sharing their day-to-day on how AI is coming up organically in conversation. And I'm like, that's just you. That's not... Nobody's out here trying to talk about that. Nobody's out here actually doing that. That's... The fact you think is normal, you've been in San Fran too long. They're not ready for that. The rest of the world isn't ready. If you ask Groq, more gooners are going to come here. You know what? You're kind of right. I don't know if you want that weird stuff. Honestly, maybe. You're kind of right. Create a port scan. Create port scan. Brother, are you telling me to do that, or are you a bot? Be honest. Shouldn't we have way better AI mods these days? Honestly, yeah. You're right. Do you think AI could fix bots in anything? Do you think that AI is like could be self-aware enough to be like, hey, this one kind of sounds like me. This one's a bot. You know? And ChatDB, ChatPDB. That's very funny. For those who can't see YouTube chat, so I'm gonna read it. Osloy said, I have some family who are not techie at all, talking about LLMs and ChatPDB. That is very funny. Then the AI would also ban itself. Yeah. It's like, what's that called? Take out all the bots and yourself. Kamikaze kind of vibe. I think it's just as likely to make bots work, honestly. It's very funny. It's the worst conversation topic. I think it's kind of funny. I do think it's kind of funny. I'm just gonna make sure my phone is far away. Hee hee. What kind of tea you're drinking? I'm actually having a matcha latte today. Being a soy girl, what can I say? I'm a soy dev today. I didn't have any caffeine yesterday, so if I get a headache later, I blame the caffeine. Because I didn't get a headache yesterday. Yesterday, I was drinking, what did I have? I was only drinking decaf, nothing with caffeine. I think I had a pomegranate Rooibos tea. If you don't know Rooibos tea, it's like a red tea that is, I think, native to Africa. And it's very high in antioxidants and all of that stuff. It is naturally herbal. And it actually is like pretty, it's pretty like strong tea, similar to black tea. So it actually tastes pretty good with milk and stuff. So it's a really good black tea alternative. Did you already eat? I did. Rooibos tastes like medicine? What? I disagree. I do generally prefer Rooibos with other stuff. Like I think some of my favorite combos for Rooibos was like a caramel Rooibos. Lavender Rooibos goes really hard. There's also if you get some kind of like fruity or like berry Rooibos is really good iced in the summer with milk. I like them all with milk. Wait, is there soy in the matcha? No, this is just regular milk. Okay, Daily Linux user says, I don't like caffeine. Coffee does no good for me. I'm also generally quite sensitive to caffeine. I only drink like one caffeinated thing a day, if that. Daily Linux, what do you prefer? What's your drink of choice? Are you just a Hydro homie? Are you drinking only water? Coke Zero or bust from everyone at Laravel. That is funny. What field are you planning to use Rust with? I think I might use it for some different... I have some ideas for like desktop applications. I also am going to look at like some different open source projects that already exist. For example, my good friend Rafa maintains Rio, the Rio terminal emulator, which is a really fun project. That one's also written in Rust. So I might eventually do either some kind of collab or, just pick his brain a little bit on that and potentially contribute to that project. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. And I think that's a really fun place to be. Rust is such a versatile language. Like I know that it's being used very heavily in the CLI in the CLI landscape. There's a lot of like libraries and frameworks and stuff that have popped up for Rust in that ecosystem. And then there's also just like you can do anything from like lower level programming to using it as a backend for a web application to using it for desktop applications, etc. OSC is saying I use Tori for my own Spotify clone. Yeah, there's stuff like that. I'm really excited about Tori. There's also Iced that looks really cool. I think I'm just gonna have fun with it. I'm curious. How do you feel about your Rust journey? It's honestly been really fun. It's been really good. I do think there's a lot of, compared to Go is like anti-ceremony. Go is like, what is the least amount of code that you can write to make this thing run is kind of, I feel like the Go philosophy. Rust, I feel like is so explicit with everything that there is quite a bit more ceremony with things, meaning you have to there's a lot more you have to write to set things up properly or like whatever, just to be more explicit, which I honestly think does make the code quite readable. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, I've heard some people in the chat also say that you can use it in a very functional way, which is pretty cool. But I'm excited to do more with it. Rust will make you a better programmer in any language. I think that this is like some of the value though of having really opinionated languages is that they force you to look at a different way of solving a problem and or make you have additional considerations when solving problems based on the restrictions of the language itself, which is really, I think, really valuable because these are obviously key considerations from very experienced programmers on things that make them write better code. That you basically get to learn in a very practical way. I think it's one thing to like read on paper, like it's like understand the theory of what makes something best practice, but then to see it in practice versus to learn, like hear about it is a very different dynamic. And I think that some programming languages, when they have those kind of opinions and it's kind of built into the language where it forces you to have those good practices, you start to see, oh, I see, I'm actually avoiding X, Y, or Z, So I really like that. I do really like the compiler. It's actually outstanding how much it helps you. It's crazy that it'll be like, hey, this is not going to run for this reason. Here's how you can fix it. Great developer experience. Okay, Stagley says, language doesn't matter. If you stick to one language for all projects, you will be bad. You have to pick the right tool for different projects. I I don't know if I necessarily agree for that. I don't know if you need to do all that. I think that at a certain point, I guess, but I don't think you can just be like, hey, I'm going to learn a new language for every single little project that I want to do. I feel like that just seems like overkill. I feel like you can build something in one language and then be like, you know what, actually in hindsight, like this isn't the best. Or like, I feel like it depends. If it's for your own personal projects, if you want to write it in whatever language you want. If it's for some system that is going to be owned by a company that's going to have to be maintained for years and needs a certain level of reliability, then yeah, you write it in the language that makes the most sense for that project. So I think it just depends on context, which is like such a freaking classic developer thing of like, well, it depends. It's like, give me a yes. It's like a yes or no question. They're like, well, it depends. But for what it's worth, I think it's one of those things where it's like, you learn a few languages and it's like, you're basically just like, okay, what is this feature in this language? You already know what to look for. Okay. Nook says, don't prematurely optimize on language choice. Yeah. That's the thing is I'm like, I feel like it's totally okay to build something and be like, this is shit. Let me build it better. I feel like we can all get a little bit too stuck on, oh, it needs to be perfect first try. But in reality, it doesn't. And in all cases, it depends. All right, well, maybe today's stream is actually not focused with me and it's just us chatting for an hour. Hold on. I'm talking about tech, about programming. Funny. Yeah, unfocus. This is not focused with me. I guess in that case, I could probably put you guys on the bigger monitor, but it's too late. Tagai says, is it just me or can you pretty much implement whatever in just about any language, ignoring available libraries and integrations, of course? Yeah, I think so. I do understand what they're saying about like, for example, Elixir, Erlang, have such insane language, designs behind the languages that make them so good for reliability and uptime. So if you have something that you really want to emphasize that, it's great to write it in those languages. And I think that if that's like a niche that you're trying, or something that you're trying to get into where you're trying to do a lot more live systems and stuff, then it makes sense to do that. If it's like a side project where you're trying to learn more of the kind of fundamentals of what that would mean for you to build out a live server, it's like, okay, I don't think you necessarily need to learn a whole new programming language for one specific project that you're exploring with. You know what I mean? It just seems overcomplicated. I don't know. I hear this, but reality is why bother? And besides, you're going to have to know that idiosyncrasies. Oh, wait. You're going to have to know that idiosyncrasies, and that takes time to truly master. Yeah, exactly. Because I think the thing is, too, that's hard. I think a lot of people, when they're learning to code, they want to avoid making mistakes, or they want it to be right first try. But then it's the whole point of where you're actually going to understand the best practices of programming is going to be through feeling the pain of not doing that thing firsthand and then having to rewrite it, I think at a certain point, it's inevitable and also a very important learning opportunity. You gotta let yourself do it all. Okay. Daily Linux user is saying Rust is very close to the hardware compared to Golang and others. That's why it's pretty fast. The Linux kernel is starting to migrate from C to Rust for some of its parts. It is. I don't know if that's I think that is true to to a degree. I think a part of what makes Rust so performant is that it's very strict about like the lifespan of everything that you declare in Rust. And I think a lot of languages that have garbage collection are less so. And the developers don't have to think so much about how many like variables are creating and like how, like whether they're copying data versus like using reference like pointers and stuff, I feel like there's just a lot less kind of consideration of that in other languages. I think also, yeah, it's like having being able to manually dictate memory management and stuff like that. Definitely does help with efficiencies. So yeah, I think they've made a lot of decisions around trying to make it as efficient as possible. But Go is very performant though as well. I don't know if it's that big of a difference, if I recall correctly. But again, it depends on like, are you looking at speed? Faster? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think garbage collected languages are always going to be a little bit slower, especially, yeah, again, it's like, yeah, and then the ownership system, zero cost ownership system that manages memory at compiled. There is a lot of optimizations that they've made so that for like things to happen at compile time instead of runtime, like more so than other languages that I've seen, that make it very performant. Yeah, I don't know if Rust is a higher level language or not than C. I'm not 100% sure. I'm surprised no one's asked about assembly. Also, please, for the love of programming, do not use AI when learning a language. It will take away the cognitive pattern building that is necessary. I think that's what Otsi was saying. I think that AI can be a very helpful like thing to kind of bounce ideas off of, and again, like get a good grasp on like a higher level concepts and stuff and how things might fit together. But I think that no matter what, you can't learn without friction. And if you make it too easy for yourself, where like you're not going to try and think about the problem and solve it, it's just, you're not going to learn. You're just not going to learn, or at least not very effectively, I think. I think Rust is the hardest language to learn. Dude, have you learned Haskell? That shit crazy. Haskell is a whole, Haskell's weird because it's like so mathematical. Everything is but I think that Haskell is an excellent language for teaching you how to break down problems into their smallest possible form. Like it is so good at that because you get forced into that because you can't, like, you can't have like variables and stuff. It's like everything is a function. Everything is purely its behavior, and that's it. And so it's so interesting. You have to like break the problems down so much. I think I'm not right about it not having variables, but you know what I mean. Haskell's a cult. Haskell, okay, JK, okay, fair. Haskell's a great community. I tried Lisp. Holy moly, it is very unreadable. It is very funny. You know what was crazy? Racket was crazy. I don't know if you remember, there was one time, like years ago, we were doing these like 1v1v1 coding things. And it was like you would get assigned a random language that you had to solve the problem in. And there were 4 of us, and each of us got a different language that we had to solve the same problem in. And Racket was on there and it was the weirdest syntax I've ever seen. Yeah, I think, let me check. Haskell. I can't even remember. Yeah, so Haskell does have variables, but they behave differently than in imperative languages like C or Python, and Haskell variables are immutable. So it can't be changed within that scope. So they're basically containers to hold data, and you can't do reassignment. So for example, you couldn't do x is equal to x plus 1. There's no incrementing. It's like you have to do it recursively. How many languages have you been exposed to? I did. So I saw quite a few in university, which is like, I feel like you get exposed to like, it's like very surface level. But you know, enough to get to know kind of the ins and outs of the language, not enough to build something complex with that language kind of thing. But I did Python, Java, C, C++, JavaScript, a little tiny bit of PHP, Haskell, Elm, a little bit of Elm, Go, now Rust. And then like other scripting languages. For scripting languages, I've done tiny bit of Bash and then a moderate amount of PowerShell. Oh, and I did check out Ruby and, cause there's a book called Learn 7 Languages in 7 Weeks that is really outstanding, and gives you some really great things to consider when you're choosing a programming language that you want to learn, because it kind of explores the ins and outs of each of them, and it covers, I think it's Ruby, Scala, Haskell, Erlang. I can't remember the other 3, but it covers like quite a lot of different, I think it was like CoffeeScript or like there was some like really old one that nobody ever uses anymore. I think, but anyway, they cover a lot of different languages, and they kind of walk you through some of the basics with those languages. And then you get a really good like comparison of the features and why some languages would be preferable for like different cases, and the flexibility comparison of these different languages and stuff. And it was honestly very, very interesting. It was really good. No TypeScript. I haven't done any TypeScript. No. I haven't really done that much like web dev stuff. You know, like I did spend a decent amount of time doing JavaScript stuff, but that was like was it before TypeScript was that mainstream? I don't know. I think I just didn't. I think it just wasn't in the curriculum to learn TypeScript. So I just didn't. If I recall correctly, IO was one of them. Yeah. Is Haskell like Lisp or Clojure? Haskell is less flexible than Lisp and Clojure, but it is like functional as well. A monad is just a monoid in the category of endofunctors. What's the problem? Yeah, literally, exactly. Yes, I have learned Racket. Yeah, Racket kind of funky. Jojo says Racket is amazing. Okay, listen. I'm still learning OCaml and still don't know when to use a semicolon. That's like, dude, me with Rust. I'm like, I don't know. Does this need a semicolon? We'll try it. The compiler will tell us. How are you liking OCaml catastrophic? Oh God, that's like Gleam. I hated it. Oh, I actually have been so curious about Gleam. Gleam is one of those languages I've really wanted to try for quite a while, because especially the star is so cute, the little mascot. I really want to try it because it's got a cute mascot. But, you know, isn't Rust also described as functional? Is it? I don't think Rust is a functional programming language. I didn't think it was. I think it can be. No, it's not primarily a functional programming language because it's imperative. But it's heavily influenced by functional concepts. I mean, I think that makes sense. A lot of people are saying that you can write like a functional programmer in Rust. Like it does support a lot of that. Gleam was really heavily influenced by Rust, I think. Ooh, interesting. I think Gleam is one of those things I will try down the line, but I'm trying to not jump around too much because I think depth is really important. And I'm excited for a lot of the Rust projects that I've seen. Mixed Nuts says, I personally hate immutability well, in the sense of not having a way to have a fast pass. Wait, what? I didn't read that properly. Also, I keep forgetting that I have notifications. Okay, we're good. Geo, congrats on the 3-stream streak. Let's go. Okay, Mixed says, I personally hate immutability. Well, in the sense of not having a fast path mutability. Honestly, fair. I do think though that like having things immutable is really, it can put you into like really good habits, you know? Everyone talks about language, but until you have experience building non-trivial software, all the language hopping has low value. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Gussie. I do think like in my case, part of why I wanted to jump from Go to something else is I just was like, I need a change of scenery. I feel like very uninspired by the Go ecosystem right now because I've just kind of, I don't know. It's something I've been following for so long that I'm just kind of like, meh. I feel like I want to try something new. And I think that's good. I think that's a good reason to jump. Dang, that's a bunch of languages. Nice. Yee. What language do you like the most? Love from Uganda? Yo, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Once you know Rust well, you don't want to use others. Yeah, I've heard like Rust is one of the languages that from the developer, there are like, so JetBrains has this like developer survey that they do on a regular basis. And I find it really interesting to read the results of that. And Rust has continuously been the most loved language out of all of them. And I'm like, I'm so interested. I think it was like Rust and then Clojure is also really high up on that list, if I recall correctly. I could be spreading misinformation, but yeah, I think I'm like also very curious about that. I think what language do you like most? I think I really liked writing functional languages, but I didn't build anything substantial with anything functional. So it's hard to say of like how much I would like it in the context of it actually being like in terms of maintenance and stuff. Cause that was like writing Haskell is awesome. Reading Haskell hurts a little bit. And I didn't get that deep in Haskell. Don't make it like I'm just a wannabe functional programmer, okay? It's back on the list eventually. But yeah, Clojure devs, really nice. And they sweet. They're really good. Did you ever do Advent of Code? I think I've only ever done like the first week of Advent of Code of that. I should honestly try and do it again because it is very fun. Would be wild if someone knew small talk, but was in this chat. Yeah. Honestly, kind of true. Gleam is the second most admired language after Rust, according to some study. Really? Gleam? Perfect language is Scala. I do think Scala is such an interesting language because it works with the JVM. So it's like, does that I guess that means a lot of, if you have a lot of like Java, if you have Java systems, you could probably switch it over to Scala pretty easily and or basically put all the new stuff as Scala is how it works in my brain. Does it actually work like that in practice? I don't know. What about Lua? Oh yeah, I guess I did do tiny bit of Lua. I didn't like Lua very much. Lua is fine. It's a high level programming language, so it's like it's not rocket science, But I think what frustrated me, the errors in Lua were never helpful, like at all. I remember having like major beef with Lua errors. Like it would be like, oh, line in this, like line 200 in this file is wrong. And then it's like, okay, that file has 50 lines. Like, what do you mean? Like it was never helpful. I feel like I don't get OCaml yet, so I don't feel qualified to have an opinion. I mean, but if you get OCaml, then you're deep enough that you're invested. You're like, this is me now. This is part of who I am. Gleam has no character type. Wait, what? Is it just strings? I would dare say that Rust is not functional. No, Rust is not. It says it's not functional. It's supposed to be imperative. Mascot-driven development versus resume-driven development. Yeah. Jojo says learning Haskell was one of the best, if not the best, experiences for learning programming in general. Yeah. Haskell has a hold on my heart. I'll go back to it at one point. Don't you ever like OOP languages? Like, not really. They're kind of whatever. Not everything got to be an object, you know? Like, chill. Hey, Blurp is here. Yo, what's up, Blurp? Oh, wait. Use 50 bits. Okay, no, it's a bot. I was like, wait, hey. Been a minute. What's up? Just kidding. It's your bot. It's fine. I'll talk to your bot, too. It's fine. I didn't. It's okay. Do you even have Blurp active? You know, I think I might have it off. That's my bad. I think I have it disabled right now. I don't know why you would be able to even spend anything with Blurp without me having it enabled. Oh no, you are ugly and know nothing about programming. Get off the internet, ugly hag. Brother, are you looking in a mirror? Are you good? Hello? I think you're in the wrong place. I think that was maybe meant to be a self message, brother. It's under the stream. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how Blurp works. The OnlyFan bro came back. Yes, for real. Do you like your Keychron? I do. Their build quality is really good. I do. I might potentially try other keyboards just to like compare. Because I feel like I kind of went from I had a Ducky keyboard for a while, and then I bought a Keychron, and I was like, this is really good. And then I partnered with them, and I've tried a few of their keyboards now, and they've all been really good, and they've all been at very different price points. Like I've tried their like super high end. I mean, not super high end, not like their copper plated or gold plated one. They have one that's like very funny to me. That's like full gold plated or whatever. But I've tried like their really nice magnetic switch ones, and the build quality is outstanding. I'm also right now using their split keyboard, which has been also great. And then I've tried I think it was a Keychron K8 is the one that I bought. And that one I think was like $75 or less. The other ones were like $200 maybe. And yeah, I've been impressed with the build quality for all of them. I like that they have like a big range of options. Like the one that I had that was less expensive basically just didn't have a backlight, but was still, I mean, great. I really liked it. The only thing I got kind of sick of was I had Cherry MX Blues on that one, and I got kind of sick of the sound of those switches. But yeah, I have the Keychron. This one is the Q11 split keyboard, and I really like it. I do have some feedback on it. Like I wish it's kind of a mixed. I have some mixed emotions about it because this one I don't believe has a built-in battery, which is kind of a handy thing. If you're traveling with it, you can put it in. That means you could put it in your check bag. For what it's worth, I'm not 100% sure that it doesn't have a battery, so like bear with me on that. Okay, don't just put it in your check bag without checking first. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. But what I do miss on this keyboard that I had on my Q1HE and on the Q8 is that this one doesn't have the ability to go from a wired connection to Bluetooth. So usually what I was doing before is I have my Linux machine and I also have my MacBook, and my MacBook, I would just have everything Bluetooth connected, and then I'd have everything hardwired to my Linux machine. But with this one, now I have to like actually move the cables around. Before I would just switch the tab between Bluetooth and wired. And that was a great workflow for me. So I do kind of miss having that on this keyboard, and that makes me sad. What the heck? Wait, really? Talented. Wait, hold on. I'm going to screenshot that and talk to them. I'm about to throw hands for you. What are we doing? How are we doing? Hi, drone. Bye, Oslo. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Which do you recommend? I have the K8. What are you looking for? It was a long time ago. Okay. I mean, for what it's worth, I've had good experience. I mean, but again, I like, maybe it's streamer perks. Like, who knows? I've had very good experiences with their shipping stuff. So it could be like, maybe if it was earlier on in like the company was newer, then maybe they were having some like logistic issues or something. But that is insane. I've never had them send me the wrong thing. What do you guys think about Kali Jade switches? I think, or is it Kale? Am I supposed to say Kale? Kale switches? I don't think you can go wrong with Kali switches. Out of all of the ones that I tried, the Kali switches always felt the best. I think Gatoron had some that I really liked. Like the baby raccoons are what I'm currently using, the Gatoron baby raccoons, and I really, really like those for linear switches. They also have a baby kangaroo switch that's more of a tactile. That one was nice as well. But I felt like most of their, like, that was like one of many options that they had that I liked. Versus I think the Kali ones, I liked most of them. If not, like, it was a much higher percentage of them that I liked. Code Monkey, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Wow. I hated Calibox Navy so much. Really? Hi, Bash. What about the chair? What about it? What about it? Oh, wait. What are you asking about it? I'm seeing that you messaged about it a couple times. I do really like it. 10 out of 10. The amount of mistyping is so... Wait, what? Oh, does it have like a very shallow actuation or something like that? I had that with Cherry MX Silver switches. Those ones are like speed typing switches. And so the actuation for that is very shallow. And it meant that like sometimes it would just like, I would accidentally nudge a key and it would activate it. Oh, what is that model? Here, it's exclamation mark. Wait, is that working? Oh yeah, there we go. This one is their moss green color. That's the one I have. Do you use agent-based AI in your projects? I'll use AI to ask it questions about different things, but I don't get it to write code for me. And that's like, I think that's more like personal preference more than anything. I think right now too, I'm kind of more focused on learning than I am speed with development. So I think that is a very, like, to me, that seems like a very pragmatic choice to do that. I think that if you were potentially in a case where you're like, I'm trying to start out my own thing. I'm trying to basically run my own little startup here. I'm trying to get this thing like done as soon as possible. Then like, you know, you'd probably have a little bit more like auto completions and stuff like that. How do you feel about YouTube Live versus Twitch? I feel like the audiences are very different. I think the culture on Twitch is better. I think the video performance is better on YouTube. Because YouTube also, I can't live stream off of my phone at all on Twitch. But if I wanted to live stream on YouTube from my phone, it actually does work. So, yeah. Are you saying Twitch chatters are better? I am. I am actually saying that. Yay. I have a Chinese membrane keyboard. I don't love the feeling of membrane keyboards. It feels kind of squishy. It feels kind of squish. Oh, what's your favorite out of all the Keychrons? I like mine, but I was looking to upgrade to the Q5 Max. Oh, I would say, I think if I could only choose one, hold on, let me look at the Max Keychron. Let me see. First keyboard. Actually prefer, okay, hold on. I gotta look at my, I'm gonna look at my, this. I think it was, okay, the Q3 Ultra. I've tried the Q3 Ultra 8K, which is with regular switches. And then I've also tried the Q1HE that's magnetic. I really like magnetic switches. They are like really good. I honestly really do like my Q11. It's just like, I think the split keyboard is really nice. And I think it's really like, I think one of my favorite things about my Keychron keyboards is it is incredibly easy to remap keys. Like you cannot brick your machine. Which is like sick. Like basically it's done from a website and it's so easy to like add new layers, remap keys, whatever. So on this keyboard, I finally did the thing where I remap caps lock to escape and it's been so much nicer. But oh, what would be my favorite model? I think if I could only choose one, I would probably, but it's hard because it's like, what's nice about using a board with regular switches is that you can switch them out. I don't know how compatible the magnetic keyboards are with switching them out to a different switch type. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I feel like the new dual streaming feature is so broken, but it has so much potential. Oh, I don't know if I've tried that. I think there's so much more upside for YouTube if they get it together. Underrated part of the platform. Yeah, honestly, I also, when I think they also need to get it, like the chat more synced up with the audio and video, because it's very, usually it's very, very delayed on YouTube. Yeah, I know. It is really hard to raid on YouTube as well. I end up having to basically click into the stream settings and go kind of deep into them to redirect to something, which is like kind of too bad because I think that is a big part of what makes the community on Twitch really good is that there's so much kind of back and forth and collaborations that you can do with other people. How do you type a whole sentence in caps? I either hold down shift or I have it so my rotary dial on my left keyboard, when I turn it, it's brightness, which so far is not working, so whatever. But when I click on it, that one's caps now. Yeah, magnetics has less switch options, that's for sure. Yeah, so it kind of depends on like how much you'd want to change it. Yeah. I imagine you set, yeah, I think it should be ultra low latency. It's hard though too, because I use Restream and I don't think it uses the same default settings as my typical live streams on here. So I don't actually know I don't actually know what the delay is on this. Oh wait, I can check now. No, see, when I start it from Restream, it automatically goes to normal latency instead of ultra low latency, which is super fun, even though I have that as the default stream latency, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, but I can't multi-stream it without Restream right now with my current setup. So it's a whole thing. I see that you like Pokemon. Do you also like Minecraft? I don't know anything about Minecraft. I don't know the point of Minecraft. I don't know what you do in Minecraft. I don't know anything about Minecraft. I only know Pokemon. That's all I know. How many screens in your setup? Well, I actually only have one external display, but I mean, it's kind of awkward right now because I also have laptop screens. So right now there's kind of 3, but right now you're on one single display. I usually use one at a time. I don't really like switching between different displays, but it makes it kind of harder when I'm streaming, because when I'm streaming, I want to see the chat, and also like I have to share a certain portion of my screen and stuff. So like I have 2 devices that I need to manage. That makes it a little bit harder. Do Emacs people use Escape too? So I use evil mode on Emacs. So I'm using Vim keybinds. I've gotten into so many fights of whether cap should be escape or control. I think it should be escape. It's like, how far? Like control is not that far. For what it's worth, you could just have 2 layers. You can just have different layers that you toggle between, and it's control in one of them and it's escape in the other one. You know? Dreams of Code made an auto video editor. Oh, that's so cool. I should reach out to them. I should see what's up. Okay, JC says, I worked at YouTube a few years ago. Knew about some of the features that dropped last year. There's still so much more potential once they're quote unquote done with shorts. Yeah, I know. I've been keeping up with, like, I have a YouTube creator partner thing, and they've been keeping me updated on some of the new features and stuff. And I'm like, this is very exciting. But I need to figure out. I don't know how to stream to vertical from my current setup. So it's kind of a bit of a pain. It's a whole ordeal. You know? Sorry, Bash, it should be control. You're wrong. Wrong. May I ask why you selected an XLR mic versus a USB mic? So this mic is both, it has support for both USB or XLR. I use XLR now because I actually have an audio interface that it goes into. That was honestly a great purchase. I'll have to cover it all again in like an updated setup video. But I think a big part of what I like about it is that it adds audio processing to the actual, like through the audio interface, which is really nice because I can obviously control that, change that however I need to. And it means that it's really consistent, clean audio, no matter what like what application is using it and stuff. Because before I was having to set like noise gates and whatever through OBS, and it was just such a pain. It just never really worked that well. But yeah, so I use an XLR now because of that audio interface, and it's great. How was it being on the Standup podcast? Was it fun? It was fun. I mean, those are great friends of mine, so it's always nice to have time to hang out with friends. It's funny though, because I'm like, I probably should have spoken to them a little bit more about like what they wanted on the podcast kind of thing, because I'm like, I have never really watched the Stand-Up and have never really I was like, I'm going in blind. Like, I don't know what to expect. And so I didn't, in a normal conversation with them, I would be like louder and not, but I was like, oh, I don't want to like interrupt them or cut them off or anything like that if they're trying to like make a point for content. You know, I don't want to like derail the pod. And then people were so upset that I wasn't talking more. And then I was like, okay, I guess I should have just stuck to the usual ones. That's the stand-up. I find I always struggle a little bit with podcasts of like, I don't like figuring out the balance of like, how much are you wanting me to talk? You know? Cause sometimes I've been on podcasts and they're like, they don't say much. And so I'm like, okay, you want, like, this is a guest episode, so it's kind of all about the guest, versus other podcasts. I feel like when they have a guest on, it's like the guest is like a segment or a part of the podcast, but isn't like the main focus of the episode. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's hard. It can be hard to figure out what the right balance is there. But yeah. I just saw the short with the Mac Mini in the podcast. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't the stand-up the startup of Prime? Their startup? Yeah. Yeah, I thought the stand-up is 75% derail, 20% topic. So you know what? I'm gonna be honest, I overestimated their ability to stay on track. I overestimated what I thought was going to be. I was like, oh, this is like, you know, because TJ is very organized. So I was like, surely you have TJ and Casey on here. It's at least 50% organized, you know, like regimented. And then I hopped on there and I was like, I was like, I mean, Prime seems like he knows, like he has a plan. He seems like he's got a plan right now, so I'm gonna let him cook. And I'll wait to be summoned. I'll wait to be called. And then I was like, okay, this is different. This is going a little bit differently than I was anticipating. Why didn't you watch an episode? I feel like it's more fun to go in blind. You know? I feel like it's less fun. I feel like it's less fun if I know what to expect. But in hindsight, maybe next time I listen to a podcast before I attend. Why don't you stream to Kick? You think I want Kick viewers? Brother, ain't no way. I don't want to talk to people on Kick. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to dodge them. Hello? Why not? I don't know. Chat, what do you think? What do you think about Kick viewers? The only thing I see coming from Kick as a platform is the absolute worst kind of content I would ever want to see online. Like and you're telling me that people and bots probably are watching this content and being like, you know what? That's so cool. I like that. I fuck with this guy. Let me follow. I'm like, I don't want those people around. Hello? They got like no regulation on that platform. I'm like, I'm so good. I'm so okay. Yeah, Kick owned by an online casino. I feel like it's just very... How can you guarantee I'm not a bot? You know what? You're right. Yeah, I think I'm good. They took out a clip from that pod and the comments were filled up. So I think what ended up happening is with that podcast episode in particular, I spoke more in like the second half of the podcast because I had kind of by that point I was like, okay, these guys are derailing. I can, you know, I don't have to feel like I'm I don't know, like I'm ruining the expectation for viewers of what to expect from the podcast. So I'm just gonna throw my opinions out there. So I was more chatty in the second half of the episode, but then they only, I think, uploaded the first half of the episode to YouTube, so people were kind of mad. It is what it is. There's just bad people on every platform. It's also a selection effect. People get banned everywhere. Go to Kick. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the, yeah, not ideal. I know some people have been like, oh, stream on Kick, it's like free money. You just print money. I'm like, meh. At what cost? My soul. You were just bringing a real vibe to the stand-up. The person's sitting there thinking, can we stop yapping and get to work? Yeah, for real. Key. All right, you guys, it's been an hour and a half. I think that's a long enough stream. I think we just yapped today. I don't even think we didn't even do nothing. All right, it has been a good yap. I think we needed this collectively. Speaking on behalf of all of you, before you've even had a chance to actually state your opinions. Yeah, no code sesh. Just a yap stream. All right. I was going to say the laptop setup is going well. No, just been talking. But I will set up the laptop now. Off stream. Yippee. Dang, did I join at the end? You did. I mean, you might have. Maybe a little bit. Okay, we're rating Alveus once again. I've decided that you're all peaceful and happy when we raid Alveus. I think it brings a good energy to your days. You can't go wrong with the animal cams. Okay, I'm raiding out. I gotta figure out how to do this again on YouTube, like really fast. The fastest ever. I love animals. Me too. I think we all are happy watching these little guys be comfy, cozy, sleeping. Okay, redirect. Yippee. Or I can redirect you to I can redirect you to an old live stream. But I don't know if that's what you want. Maybe you do want that live. Oh, okay. Videos from your subscribed channels? Okay, never mind. I don't think I can, I don't know how that works. I'm just gonna we're sending YouTube off to Alveus as well. You all get animal cams after this. Play a game, Linux Gooner. You know what? With that username, you're right. I should play a game. You're right. You're right. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Enjoy Alveus. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you again on Monday and hopefully doing more productive stuff. And I have my laptop working. Bye-bye. Enjoy the raid. Goodbye, Twitch forever. All right. Goodbye, YouTube. It was real.